What is going on, everybody? This is the Cloud9 podcast, season 3, episode 14. So sorry, this episode is coming out 2 days later than we normally have episodes come out. This guy right here said he got invited to another stream, and then it turns out he fucked me over that day because he told me last minute, so I had to change the day, and then I put it to Thursday, and he was like, no, they changed it again. I was like, oh,
what are you talking about? I didn't tell you last minute. I told you like a day in advance.
You did?
And I was busy that day, and then I said that we might be able to do this today earlier, though, depending on if... Yes, MSK, are you like fucking deaf? No, about the one other person's stream, it was for today, MSK, which I said if it happens, then this would delay until like 7 p.m. or something, but it didn't.
Okay. Yeah. So normally we're going to try and have these episodes on Wednesday. So next week, if we're going to have an episode, we're going to have it on Wednesday, because next week I'm going to go out and see Jurassic World Dominion. And you guys know that day I vlogged the spoiler-free review, and lots of content comes out on that day. So next week's episode should be on Wednesday. But yeah, MSI 2022 is over. We have a lot to discuss about the best of fives that played out. And
we have a lot to discuss about this fucking worthless tournament that became even more worthless.
Hey. To be fair, the only organizations to win every single trophy in League of Legends are SKT and EDG, actually. Yeah. Because EDG won MSI in 2015. They won a world championship. Then they won titles domestically.
Because of fucking Faker. Good job.
It wasn't strategic drafting when they took away the LeBlanc pick and they made it obsolete with their picks, right, Sean? It's only because of luck, right?
No, because they purposely drafted a comp that counters LeBlanc hard, and then Faker
it sounds like a pretty good strategy.
Like an idiot.
Sounds like a pretty good strategy to me. I'm just saying, it sounds like a strategic planning.
No, but they did. Like. I mean, they did deserve. They played. No,
unlike that was a really close series. Actually.
Unlike RNG here, who were not the better team, and Pult was just
like, on drugs?
Hey, what?
Are you on drugs?
What?
RNG stomped them in their wins. Actually, their game. RNG
fucking dumb.
Our RNG's wins in that best of 5 against T1 were stomps. T1.
Okay, did you see their fucking drafts?
Oh my goodness! Why do you do this all the time?
Please defend that Game 5 draft. Please.
Okay, Game 5. This is the thing, dude. Outside of Game 5, if you look at just how the games are played, the games that RNG won, they won very convincingly. Especially Game 1.
They won one of them convincingly. Right? Those 4 games were fine.
They won one of them convincingly. The second game T1 won in the best of 5. It was after they threw a team fight. I remember RNG went to Baron, and then Faker did a Lysandra
they
claw.
Still had the lead. MSK, fuck off.
I don't know, man. Like, if RNG had got the Baron, I don't want to say they would have potentially won that game, but the games that RNG won were pretty decisive.
They had the better comp. It still would have been in their favor. They still had a bigger gold lead.
I'll say this. Like, I would have loved if EDG had beaten RNG. No, sorry, guys. Sorry. I would love if EG had beaten RNG, because that would have been amazing for NA to just like, I know the MSI would have had an asterisk to it, but just to like have a trophy for North America would have been amazing. But sadly, it didn't happen. But when I actually went back and watched the EG versus RNG series, it was actually really fun. You know, like I tried to give NA my time because the games played. And it was EG RNG game 1. I saw RNG completely just beat the shit out of them. And I was like, I'm going to bed. I'm not standing up and watching this. Now, to be fair, the series played out better in games 2 and 3. And that's the thing, though. I know a lot of people gave EG a lot of praise for standing up to RNG as best they can.
Thank you, Lennon.
But RNG just had the better players, man. Like, we'll talk about RNG after this, too, because there's some information I figured out about RNG as well, which might not bode well for them being in the LPL financially. But I think Ben was super underrated by a lot of people. Like, he didn't play that well in the LPL. He didn't. But at MSI, he definitely played really, really well. Ever since like the first game, he was pretty much dominating every single game. Though, to be fair, he was only just on Gwen and Gangplank the whole time, you know? So, I mean, I guess people can take that for what it is. But, because his most played champions were just Gangplank and Gwen. And because I know everyone was just praising Zeus, I think Zeus and Ben were just the best top laners at the event. I think a lot of people were just like not really checking for Ben. Ben was stomping most of his laning phases, if not all of them, and as well, Zeus was too. So like those two top laners were the best at the event, like just outright. And I personally think that people consistently underestimate like the LPL teams going into these certain events, Now, the G2 versus T1 series was not as fun to watch. There was one fun game that was in that series, actually, and that was game 2. But I think Gumayusi played very well in game 2, and I actually think, he's had a rough time with the Korean fan base as well. Well, specifically the T1 fans, actually. So, yeah, guys.
Did they send them any death threats yet?
I could only imagine. They were asking for coaching staff changes.
They're probably like have his fucking mother on like held at gunpoint.
Good God. Good actual God. So, yeah, tonight we only have just like 3 topics because we'll talk about the MSI 2022 semifinals and final match.
What a great tournament, man. A tournament that was even more fucking worthless with the shitty fucking, holy fuck, the shitty bracket.
Okay,
the shitty everything. The shitty prize pool.
Okay, so
and then the finals of it, MSK. That could have been an amazing Game 5 finals.
That's not RNG's
because
fault.
One of their fucking coaches stabbed a fork in their brain.
I'm just saying, man, it's not RNG's fault. T1 literally lost their brains in draft. I'm just saying,
well, it makes it even more worthless of a win than it would have been. Either
not necessarily. Not necessarily. I don't even think on that game
was worthless anyway. Who gives a fuck about MSI?
I don't even think if Kyria was on a playmaking support, they still would have won the game, but it would have given T1 better odds to win. I'll say that. Because they still got
draft was shit. Every pick.
But this is the thing. Kyria is playing very well on Nautilus most of the series. I think he had Leona in one game. I think he did. But then they gave him Yumi in game 5. That's the same thing Damwon did for like their finals against
ADP. They gave Bulky Yumi in LCS playoffs.
That like who was I forgot the coach of Damwon for last year, but game 5, guys, against JJ, who was like massively popping off on Udyr. The Damwon coach, I think it was Coma, he gave Canyon Trundle. Because that's what I want to see Canyon playing in game 5 of a World Finals is fucking Trundle, right?
Oh, amazing.
I don't know. Like, I think RNG are going to go back and definitely have a slump like they did last year. But it just depends because now when RNG goes back to the LPL, they're going to be top laner.
Org now. Fucking clown org. They won 3 pointless MSIs, but no worlds.
What are you talking about? The first MSI they won was pretty competitive, actually.
I don't give a fuck. All right,
okay. This guy's just salty on the back. No, this guy's just
worlds, but you get 3 fucking you win.
Hey,
your winner trophies.
Hey man, I'll just say this: Korea is 1-8 or 1-9 against the LPL and BO5 since like 2018. Actually, that's pretty impressive. And people still underestimate the LPL going into best of 5s against the LCK. Dude, I'm not saying the LCK is bad, but they are definitely sometimes a little overrated going into like best of 5s. People specifically don't point out weaknesses of these teams. Like the T1 games that I saw were the ones where they play up against Damwon and Genji in the regular season, and then I watched the finals that they played. There were definitely moments where these teams could have exploited them. I don't know why they didn't, nor had the capacity not to do it, but they were exploitable. Now, T1's early game really was strong. And I think a lot of people need to stop doing this. They're like, well, T1 was super overhyped because they didn't win MSI. Guys, they still made it to the finals, and they still brought it to a game 5. They were literally one game away from winning.
Maybe if the pin was actually normal, then they would have easily won.
This man's... Okay, well, what is the ramen noodles not cooked right?
LPL shouldn't have even fucking attended for the same reasons the LCL didn't. But let's not get into that.
I don't honestly think
and then playing at home fucking holds the trophy at home. Fuck. This is the biggest embarrassment in esports history, and that's including the Overwatch League. Fuck this tournament.
This man was only saying this because T1 actually lost. He wouldn't be saying this if T1 won.
I don't give a fuck about T1. I already told you. They're my favorite
liar.
team. I don't give a fuck when they lose. I already told you. I'm actually happy. if they lose. Even though it hurts me on the inside, I'm happy still if they
It hurts
lose.
on the inside.
Well, yeah, because I'm a fan, but I don't give a fuck still.
Okay. Let's start
Their
it here.
owner is a piece of shit. Their fans are a piece of shit. I love when I see their fucking tears. Seeing all those people, fans cry on the stage. Fucking hilarious, all right?
Here, I'll say this. Like, after the finals for MSI 2022, after RNG won, Joe Marsh went on Twitter and he, congratulated RNG on their victory, as any good showman should. You talk trash before the event.
Fuck off, buddy. You keep calling yourself CEO of Based. Oh, I'm such a great owner. Let me mock Jack and Cloud9. No worlds. We have a good system. Yeah, fuck off. What have you done, buddy? Ever since becoming T1 CEO, what have you done? Nothing. You've done nothing. Fuck off. Eat shit.
Okay, so last year, a lot of people wondered why T1 were going through all those roster shifts. Like, they would just constantly swap out players consistently, like between owner and Kana and closer and all those many players that kept shifting. Well, turns out Joe Marsh was the guy that implemented that system where they kept swapping out players, so much so to the point, like, I guess the Korean staff and Faker got fed up with it. They were like, no, this is the roster we're going to use. This is the coaching staff we're going to use. That's it. And Faker is kind of like unanimously like the head coach of the team. So yeah, that's definitely something Joe Marsh implemented in a system that just wasn't going to work. So yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Joe Marsh. You have the best player in the world. You have the best talent. Always getting the best talent for free once they're like 15 because they all sign with T1. You have all the resources in the world. You were the best team heading into this tournament, even with the disadvantages with the pin, and you still couldn't get it done. You still fucking threw it when you shouldn't have. You're pathetic. I don't want to see your fucking shit talking ever again until you win Worlds.
Okay, and guys, about the whole Breathe swap to RNG. Okay, so now that I actually got a chance to read up on all the information pertaining to it, this is what happened. Okay, so remember how we went through the 2021 offseason and BLG were trying to put together a super team? Okay, so BLG actually bought Bin from Suning, who are now called Weibo Gaming, and they also have Breathe, who was already on their roster. So they had two top laners in the 2021 offseason, but they also wanted Uzi for their roster as well. So they chose to do some sort of a swap, actually. BLG would give Bin to RNG for the remainder of Uzi's contract, actually. So they chose to swap the players. Then, after RNG wins MSI 2022, BLG asked for Bin back because Bin is actually their player. He was just loaned to them. He wasn't actually their top laner, which is crazy to think about because, it goes to show you just how good RNG are at actually getting the most out of their players. RNG has gotten the most out of a lot of certain players that otherwise on other LPL rosters would probably have just failed, honestly. The fact that they got Bin an international title and a trophy is something, honestly. And apparently RNG's owner made a series of bad investments, so RNG are in some financial trouble, as what a lot of people have been actually saying on like Twitter and Reddit. And it's all just based in the owner making a series of unsuccessful financial investments that did not pay off very well.
What's new?
Then, what's crazy? So you guys remember E-Star Gaming, who is now called Ultra Prime in the LPL? Okay, so Wei was on that team. RNG still have not paid off the transfer fee for Wei. They still haven't paid it off. As what was reported, they still haven't paid it off.
And Ben's coming back to BLG, isn't he?
Ben's going back to BLG, and RNG would need a top laner, so BLG didn't want to have two top laners, so they just gave RNG Breathe.
Okay, so
essentially for free, because like, how could RNG pay for him? No, wait. So they have prize money. RNG won the prize money for MSI 2022.
On Damn One now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who the fuck are they gonna? Oh, hey, Summit, hey.
So
imagine.
I don't think someone's play style would work with RNG very well, but that would be really exciting to see, honestly. That'd be great, honestly. So, yeah. So that's the basis of what that is. Because I know a lot of people were like, why would RNG just fucking give up Bin to BLG? Guys, they didn't have a choice. That wasn't their player to begin with. That's really what it was. That wasn't their player to begin with. And since Uzi left BLG, that means that kind of deal gets fizzled when Uzi's not going to be on BLG.
It was dumb in the first place. I honestly don't know who's better between Uzi and Doggo. Like, they're dead even, but I would just roll with Doggo now, and it's pretty obvious. Like, in the off season, that Doggo was at least even with Uzi, and can grow into the system, being way younger. Like, I don't understand the move for Uzi. I get maybe having Uzi under him can help him grow and scrim a lot, but still. But yeah, I guess Doggo's better because they kept starting him. They would start Uzi otherwise, but
Doggo's just better for the future because he's just obviously younger. Uzi's like almost 28 years old at this point, isn't he? Yeah.
So besides for scrim and development reasons, was there really much of a point to get Uzi for Bin?
They only played him They only played him from what I remember from watching LPL, because LPL comes on late in the night for me.
They played him for
2 games,
3 or something game. Yeah, for 4 games, and then they played him against the Viper series.
Yeah, because usually, guys, for me to watch LPL, it comes on the hour I'm getting ready to go to bed for work in the morning, so I can stay up and watch LPL for an hour. The games that I saw from Uzi, from BLG, they were actually good. He's still very good, but they only utilized him in maybe max 4 games. I only saw 2, but I remember he played more
or something. But
they didn't ever really utilize him ever anyway, and it always just felt like Doggo fit the team better. Because a lot of people in League don't really understand this, though. And it's something you can't really explain to someone. You don't always want to have, the best players in every single position because it's too many resources. How they want to play the game is going to be so drastically different. It's just going to be a cause for a problem. Now, you want to have at least 3 really standout players and 2 supporting players in that. I don't know how BLG are going to perform with Bin. I only watched a few of their best of 5s and their best of 3s in the LPL anyway. I felt like there was a lot of super teams in the LPL that got formed that just didn't really pay off very well. The only one that really paid off substantially well was V5. They almost actually made it to the finals, so I remember LNG kind of fell apart toward the second round of the LPL 2022 Spring Split playoffs. And yeah, whatever someone says about MSI, you could factor this in as for the bright side of the tournament. Xiaohu role swapped to top lane last year, won MSI, role swap back to mid lane, won another MSI, and then he also won an MSI with Uzi, because I know a lot of people kept talking about well, could RNG do very well without Uzi? A lot of how they're good is based around Uzi. No, guys. This is the thing a lot of people don't actually understand when they're watching League of Legends. It's not always just about a star player. It's always about the other players on the roster that sacrifice resources to make sure another player looks good. And that's just the game League of Legends is. You can sacrifice resources on the map to get one guy so far ahead that he just looks like he's just doing everything for the team, when in reality, it's all based in the pieces around him. Now, there were games that Uzi just basically 1v9'd, but now looking now at RNG, they've had Cryan come into the mid lane. They won an MSI with him, even though he wasn't really that good, and they later on got rid of him. You have Ming and Xiaohu, 2 players in the LPL that were just overlooked when Uzi was on RNG. And now that Uzi is gone from RNG, after all of these years that have actually passed, I think it's been about 4 years, 3 or 4 years at this point, RNG, is showing, and they are capable of having other players come onto the roster and do very well. They brought up Gala. He's obviously one of the best ADCs in the LPL. I gotta think he's the best ADC, like a lot of people have said, but he's definitely top 5, top 10 material. Then you also have players like Wei. I don't think is actually a substantially good jungler, but I think he works very well with what RNG needs for a jungler, if that makes sense. Now, Wei did pop off at MSI 2022. Most of the RNG players all popped off at the tournament. Most of their games were all pop-offs. I didn't really see much wrong with a lot of their gameplay. You know, there were definitely some issues there, but like more or less so, Xiaohu, a mid laner who's not like mechanically super gifted, but he's just a really good supportive mid laner who knows when to roam, knows what to do on the map, knows when to obviously call for a dive, just all these great things. Ming and Gala are definitely a really strong bot lane you do not want to underestimate, which is what a lot of people did going into this event. I remember people going like, Ming and Gala are not going to be that good. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, that's like, you can tell people don't watch games if people say that Ming and Gala are exploitable.
Ming and Gala are gonna be shit, I'm sorry to say.
Oh, yeah. You any evidence to prove this?
Yeah, because basically
you got the inside scoop. RNG DM'd you this?
Yeah, because basically you know, I saw basically Gala and Ming doesn't sound as good as Uzi and Ming, so they're gonna be shit.
That's literally Reddit analysis. Well, if this is not a named player that I know, it's automatically gonna be trash. It's like, that's not how that works. You kind of have to see them play first to see if that really is gonna be a thing.
Yeah, well, that's why people criticize players like Closer when they come into the LCS not knowing who the fuck they are.
Dude, remember, you were watching back then before you started coming on shows. I was praising Closer, and people thought I was crazy.
Yeah, I was praising him as well. I said he would be at least like the 4th best jungler. Like, people were not watching fucking Royal Club in Turkey, apparently.
Yeah, watching Turkey games. Yeah, the quality games they got over there.
Oh, sorry, Royal Youth, their name is actually.
I was watching, like, I think people have to understand, just because it's a player you're not familiar with doesn't mean they're bad. You know, it always gets said, or if it's not a player that you want to be good, that you imagine in your head, people just start going, oh, he's not really that good. I know he dominated like every single laning phase, had the most solo kills out of most top laners, but no, he's not that good. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what is that? So then our main topics tonight, guys, are obviously going to be me and Sean going over the MSI 2022 final BO5 semifinals and finals, talking about T1, and then talking about the West getting swept again. So
yippee. So I find it hilarious how fucking Pride Stalker is Golden Guardian's youngest player.
That is just disgusting. Well, this is my thing, guys. When people call teams overhyped, I think there was a little bit of, what's the best thing to really describe this? It's like when people only really watch one sample size to gain enough of information, so they base all of their conclusive information on that information that they're actually watching. So I'll just break this down. There are people that legitimately do watch the LCK. I haven't got a chance to watch much LCK in the past couple of years. I'm going to try and change that coming into the split. I really am, but I have just been very, very busy. But T1 were just by far and away considered the favorites of the tournament. And rightfully so. You know, they went 18-0 in the LCK. They pretty much dominated playoffs, all things consistently. You know, there are these asterisks to the 18-0. Obviously, the really good teams didn't have certain players during certain BO3s because those certain players were affected by COVID, okay? And then there were individual games T1 actually lost, and T1's drafting style and their play style was it was pretty straightforward, because I know a lot of people said they were flexible, and I was thinking to myself, flexible in how? Like, I didn't see them flexible at all, honestly. I thought they were good at specific styles, maybe 2 styles, but other than that, I didn't think they were that flexible, because everyone was like, well, Zeus can play Kennen, and then he can play fucking Gangplank. That's not versatile, guys. Because obviously when he's playing Kennen, he looks much worse than when he's playing Gangplank. Zeus looks much worse on fucking Kennen than when he does on Gnar. Okay, that's not flexible. That's not how that fucking works. Okay, so I didn't think T1 was flexible, but I thought they were a really strong early game team if they're given certain champions to actually be very good on. Then you also have to kind of factor in Gumayusi. If you check out his stats, he only really played more than 280 carries consistently, which was Aphelios and Jinx. The other 80 carries he played, he didn't really have, like, he had a substantial win rate on them, good based off LCK stats, but at MSI, he wasn't really playing that good, you know? And that also bodes into another thing I want to talk about with T1, which is, it's one of these things where I think people start to overhype a certain team based off not just regular season or playoffs, but them not knowing how strong a region is. Like, the LCK was the games that I saw, just the best of threes that I saw from the regular season and the playoff games I saw from like just Damwon, because I like Damwon. I want to see Showmaker, obviously Showmaker and Canyon succeed still. Even the playoff series I watched from Gen G, like Gen G really lucked their way into the finals when Canyon locked in Nidalee, and they definitely didn't do very well against Gen G with that pick. Like if people don't really understand the strength of a region and they see one team just dominating, their minds go, okay, well, that team is automatically, when they go to an international tournament, going to do well. But it's like, you're not factoring in, is this team getting away with bad macro decisions, bad laning phases, bad Rift Herald timers, bad dives? A lot of these things can play into effect. Then I know the people that watch the LCK, there's a good proportionate amount of those people that don't actually watch the LPL. Okay, so then you have people who only watch the LCK going, okay, T1's just the absolute favorite. That's it. But if you watch the LPL, RNG were actually pretty strong, but there were other teams in the LPL that could definitely challenge RNG. Like Top Esports definitely challenged RNG and could have went to MSI if they had actually cleaned up their early game and Mark wasn't just obviously Nautilus hooking in and, dying consistently. RNG definitely have been having great playoff runs in the LPL because they would get knocked down to the losers bracket and then having to sweep their way up to the finals, obviously. So I think if you want to get better at looking at how strong certain teams are, I think people need to understand this. You have to go and watch the other regions because you'll get a better example of what a good team is. Like RNG was definitely heavily challenged in the LPL if you watch just from like the beginning of spring all the way into the finals. But if you watch LCK, T1 is challenged by certain teams, right? But they're not really challenged on things that they definitely would get punished for at an international event. Like even G2 and EG were punishing them for a certain mistake they were doing, Like right when the tournament began and I saw Gumayusi and Keria losing to Sanyun Buffalo's bot lane, I was like, that can't be right there. Like this is touted as like one of the best bot lanes in the world coming into this event, and they're losing to the VCS's second seed bot lane. Now, granted, the VCS's second seed bot lane was actually really strong. Honestly, they were actually really strong of a bot lane. But then again, if this is supposed to be Gumayusi and Keria, it's like they should have an overwhelmingly big advantage in that. I think Faker actually played well given the circumstances around his team. I think Owner and Zeus all played very well. I think it was all just basically Gumayusi playing poorly, honestly. I think the T1 players, as they are capable of winning the LCK 2022 summer split. But and I also think going into the LCK 2022 summer split, Gumayusi is going to be a lot more comfortable being back in a familiar setting. I think people need to understand this though. Faker has actually never played in front of his home crowd ever. This was his first time playing in Korea when T1 had actually won a championship. Mostly when SKT won in the past, they played obviously outside of the LCK, and then the times they did hold Worlds at Korea, Faker actually didn't go and attend because he didn't make it to Worlds that year by results, obviously. So that's just my thing. And people need to understand this though. T1 still got second place at the event. They still got second place. They were one game away.
Should have been first.
For winning the whole tournament.
Good job, head coach.
Like, and that's what I told people, dude. It's like overhyped, but they almost won the tournament, though. They were one game away.
No, stop saying they almost. Say they should have, but their coach stabbed the fork in his brain.
Right. It's one of these things where, like, if a team is overhyped to me, you're getting knocked out. No, you don't even make the set. You don't even make the.
If they were overhyped, then yeah, they would have been eliminated.
Make it past the Rumble stage. If they were overhyped, guys, T1 wouldn't make it past the Rumble stage because they would have
got like fourth in the Rumble stage and then like lose to RNG or some shit.
Oh wait, you're already living in that reality, aren't you?
Well, I mean, in like the semifinals, and then EG wins finals.
Like if T1 are overhyped, then like G2 would have beaten them, or in the Rumble stage, they wouldn't have even possibly made it out, struggled to make it out, or maybe you see the PCS make it out over them. I don't think T1 are overhyped. I think they're overhyped on certain aspects. Certain people just don't understand about how the game actually work, you know? Like, so I think T1 definitely can do better going into Worlds, because actually T1 do very well at Worlds. From history, SKT or T1 now do very, very well at Worlds. So, you know, it's not that much of a stretch to say they're going to perform very well at Worlds when, you know, Faker definitely puts his all into going into Worlds. So the whole thing about Joe Marsh, I can't really comment on the guy. I don't really know him all too much from his social media presence. I've seen one show from him where he was with Double F and LS on that trash talk episode they did. I didn't finish it all the way through. I have to go back and finish it, but I don't know how he's running the team actually. All I know what he did was implement that 10-man roster kind of situation that they were like basically throwing out because it just wasn't working. So that's my thing, guys. I think T1 were over.
Well, he's a decent guy. I've talked to him a few times, you know, on like Discord and voice chat. And I can say he's a decent guy. Like, I'm not saying he's a trash person. Jokes aside, but I mean, as an owner, yeah, he's kind of shit. Sorry, you're pretty shit owner, buddy, and your systems are shit. And then LS tried copying them with C9 and Jack didn't like them. And then you say it wasn't the systems, but then you haven't done shit with T1. So yeah, I think it was the systems, buddy. Hey, hashtag Jack was right.
People were saying they would go undefeated. Even the coaches were saying they were going to. Yeah, that's the thing. You need to understand the volatility of best of ones makes it really hard to go undefeated. Just the volatility of that itself makes it hard to go undefeated, because people also need to understand this. The LCK and the LPL do not play best of ones. So when they go to an international tournament for Riot, which is MSI and Worlds, they have to play a BO1s. So they're more susceptible to losing random one-off BO1s to teams like, well, you can use, for example, EG and then G2, obviously. Because in a best of 3, you can adapt, you can change up your strategy, you can change up your pick and bans. You're obviously going to get a different side selection. Now, I know a lot of people talked about side selection. I'm not like the best guy at that personally, but I can tell you this. For the whole side selection thing, like Red Side got the bad end of the stick, because like there were certain permabans that Red Side had to do. Otherwise, Blue Side's going to take them, because on Blue Side, you pick first. So that's kind of the best way I can explain to people who don't understand drafting. So obviously you guys know about, you have Blue and Red Side, okay? And obviously Blue picks first and they get to ban first. So on your side, you kind of have to ban the more overpowered champions. Otherwise, Blue Side gets to pick them first. So just an example for this tournament that I can use for you guys for many more examples is on Red, just say me and Sean were playing, right? And he was with T1 and I was with fucking like G2, right? If I'm on Red Side, I have to ban Lucian. Otherwise, he takes it, and he probably just beats the shit out of me. That's how bad it's been for Red Side. That's why you saw most of T1's wins coming from when they played on Blue Side, because they didn't obviously have to opt into banning other champions that they otherwise wouldn't have banned if they were on Blue Side, if that actually makes sense. So, like, it was the side selection thing was an issue. The format for MSI, like I've told people this before too, I think they need to change the format up. And I think a lot of the community has been calling for the MSI format to change up. I'm going to stick by what I said. You know, the only thing I really wanted added was just make it 2 teams. Why can't it be 2 teams? What was the tournament like, dude, for the amount of BO1s that were played? Wasn't it like 36 BO1s? You know? I forgot the actual number, but it was like 36 or 38 BO1s. It's like, why can't you add in other teams?
I don't get it, but
like let LCK and LPL have an extra seat. I don't care if NA and EU get knocked out early. I don't give a fuck. It would be more exciting having more teams go from the major regions to compete against LPL and LCK. Imagine, okay, EG can't beat RNG. Cool. Maybe 100 Thieves with their play style have a chance of beating RNG. Maybe who got second place in Europe? Oh, Rogue. Rogue actually had a really strong early game. Maybe Rogue could have taken a few games off T1.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know?
I'm fine with like not doing one or two things either need to happen. Just lower bracket or add new teams. I don't really want both.
I'm fine with not having
What
like.
about losers bracket? Because the fact of the
Sorry,
I know
well, that's what I meant by lower bracket.
yeah. So
But
this is what I
must have
also
said it
told
wrong.
people as well: is if you have a lower bracket, it just makes things a lot
Mhm.
more. That's actually exciting because I know
I just
Riot is
don't. I
doing
don't know if I really want that at Worlds, though. I think it takes away some excitement, but that's
No,
just me.
really, I don't think so, man. I don't know, dude.
I'd rather just have it at MSI, but I think Worlds format is already
Okay.
perfect.
I'll pose you this: just last year, EDG beat Damwon. Upset, right? That's what Riot wants.
It was a slight upset. Like Damwon was better, but I mean it could have gone either way.
But now if you introduce a losers bracket and let's say let's say Damwon get another chance to come back, does Damwon win that? And I think for the regional leagues, I've liked that. Wait, correct me if I'm wrong. The LCK is the only region to not have a double elim in their playoffs, right? They just added the 6th seed. Yeah. So for the LCK guys, they changed up their playoffs. So they allow 6 seeds now. That fucking sucks for Hanwha Life. We were trying to get into playoffs all this many years ago when it was just 5 teams. And there's no more wild card rounds, right? Where it's a best of 3. It's just 6 seeds and BO5s to the very end, okay? I personally think MSI should add in 2 teams, and you don't want to pair the wildcard teams up against LPL and LCK teams because, like this tournament has proven, NA, EU, China, and Korea are much, much stronger than every single one of those regions. I know people said, well, didn't G2 lose to PCS and VCS? It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter because the sample size of numbers from games have given to us that these regions are just that much better than them. It doesn't matter that G2 dropped games to Sinyun Buffalo and PCS. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Or sorry, PSG Talon. It doesn't matter, honestly, because the amount of games the major regions won against the wildcard teams prove you can't really bracket them together. You know, you want to give these wildcard teams a chance to face off against other wildcard teams to prove themselves, get a little bit of confidence, because like everyone knows that they're going to need confidence going up against LPL and LCK teams. But they can't really get better internationally from certain teams that they send, because if they face LPL and LCK teams, they are normally going to lose. Like, guys, even EG beat Sinyun Buffalo and PSG Talon, like, pretty convincingly, too. These weren't, like, close games. They were, like, stomps, you know? Yes, G2 lost to PSG Talon and Sinyun Buffalo, but the LCK and the LPL and the LCS dominated those wildcard regions. It wasn't even close, guys. So going forward, they can't just pair wildcard teams to LPL and LCK teams or even LCS teams. I know people say, well, Cloud9 lost to Pentanet. Yeah. And what the fuck did Pentanet do in that tournament? They also lost to Cloud9 as well. Like, Pentanet were getting their asses handed to them by everyone else, but just as Cloud9 lost to them one time, that means LCS is worse than
one time where they were basically already out of the tournament, and they didn't give a fuck at all about winning, and they drafted the worst comp ever, and they also didn't have their head coach. But yeah, nice job.
Oh my goodness! Like, even last year, Mad Lions and Damwon and RNG can very convincingly beat those minor region teams. Actually, and that's what I told Sean too. It's like they aren't that good, but it sucks for them because they're basically a big fish in a small pond, and I don't really know how to improve the wild card, the minor regions. I don't know how to do that, honestly, but it would have to go into like how they structure certain things. Maybe if they can attract certain talent. I don't personally know. But I did like how you do get to see minor improvements every year. And there have been some huge upsets from, wild card teams in the past, like I think Red Candidates day one showed up that they could be a strong team if given certain champions.
Yeah, I would like it if they had if they had more second seeds to the other minor region teams, and expand the playing station and give an extra seed in each group of at least one minor region team in the world's groups, just to make it a little more interesting.
For me, I would want the wildcard teams to just play themselves. Like, the first stage is just wildcard teams. They play for... Well, you want to make it fair for them because they travel.
I'm saying that, but also some first seed wildcard teams get put into
Oh yeah. I was gonna say...
I'm saying it's because I want there to be an extra. I want them to each have like a second seed and have like an
Each of
extra
them
seed
to have a second seed.
in the 4 worlds group. So there's 20 teams in like the group
Oh,
stage.
okay, yeah.
Because here's the thing, and one way to improve in the minor regions is a lot of players, like decently high players, would think about maybe going to minor regions for the money and improve their region and have success there. Yeah,
Mhm,
and maybe you can start building something there and like
mhm.
a whole system. The thing is though is yeah, if they only have one seed besides fucking VCS and PCS, I mean, do you really want to risk that? It just takes one best of 5, and then you don't even attend Worlds or MSI, and you're just in this shitty
Right,
minor
yeah,
region. Like
yeah.
fucking, that's what happened with B-Boy and Mia for like fucking 3 years in Brazil and Latin America.
Mhm. Like, my thing here with the wildcard teams to really help them out is maybe adding in another team for them from their own region would definitely help out. Because a lot of people need to understand this, though. Just sending one team to basically represent their region represents their region. Like, if that team does really shitty, then their region gets generally not looked at pretty strong, you know? Like, how strong NA looked last year was by how they were talked about going into Worlds 2021, based off Cloud9's results at MSI 2021. So, and this would also help out Riot if you put in more wildcard teams. That's why I think MSI just lost its flavor after a little bit of time, was because just say this: if you watched a competitive finals with certain regions, like let's say you watched a competitive finals in the LCK and the LPL, and you're like, damn, if that team had gone to MSI, they could really do some damage. Well, they don't go to MSI, and that form that team has maybe doesn't honestly get to stay, you know? And that's the worst thing about that, you know, is I would like to see more teams go to better give chances of not even just upsets, just you want to see different teams play against each other, you know? Maybe Rogue going against 100 Thieves would be really interesting, you know, because both teams have a really decent early game about their teams, you know? Maybe Rogue's early game would have been a lot more effective against T1 than G2's early game. Who knows, guys? Who knows? Maybe Gen G would have done a lot better against RNG than T1, you know? But these things and these questions will never get answered because of how badly the MSI format is. And Worlds format is like a slightly better format, but it's not like the best, you know?
Yeah, I love how Riot keeps trying to say this format's good. Fuck yeah, what level of bullshit do you have to be on to say this format is fucking good?
They're smoking their own crack. That's how that's
Oh, like, fuck. Hey, I mean, do you know, like, those one women online who like, you knew and, you know, aren't fucking, like, LGBT at all, and they're like married to a man, but then they, after getting married, then they just later come out as like saying I'm bisexual just so they can say that they're part of the LGBT community, even though you know for sure they're not attracted to females at all. That's the equivalent of like Riot Games trying to say that this format's good. That's the level of lying we're on.
the entire community have been begging them to add in double elimination to Worlds. If you don't want to add double elimination to MSI because you want to make it a quicker tournament to get into summer, fine, cool. Could you at least add double elimination to Worlds? Please. Worlds is supposed to be the most prestigious event of the tournament. Why not have it there? But I understand why they're trying to have it that way. You have it like the Super Bowl. You perform well on that day because it makes the stakes a lot more higher. But you also have to factor in, if you know a team is better than another team and that team gets upset, it's like, well, if that team had another chance to beat that team in a very convincing way to show you how strong a team is.
Upsets are good for esport.
That is true, yeah.
Like, again, I'm fine with not having double elimination because if they want to do it, I just think they should add more teams at least. And then I do think double limit, like if the bracket size is going to be this, if it's only going to be 4 teams at the MSI like bracket after the Rumble stage and shit, then that should be double elimination.
Mm-hmm.
Like it, but I mean, at Worlds, I can at least understand that's big enough. Just I don't think MSI is big enough just to have fucking 3 playoff rounds or whatever.
So yeah, guys, that's my I guess you'd say my discussion on MSI. I think you just add more teams in, and I don't know the best bracket to really structure it for them for MSI. I would say have a format, a tournament format where it allows the wild card teams to thrive, and you also have a tournament where the bigger fish can fry, because what's the incentive for a wild card team to improve when they're facing up against like EG and they're thinking like, damn, we can beat the LCS? No, because you're actually not better than LCS and you get fucking clapped by them. Like, that's pretty fucking demoralizing, is losing to at least NA on like an international event. I don't know why they would assume they could beat, LCS teams, but sure, go ahead, think that. It's whatever crack you have to smoke to tell yourself that, sure, Like, that's just what they need to do. They need to have a tournament format that allows the wildcard teams to thrive while also knowing they're not going to be doing anything internationally. Because I'll be honest, guys, there was games that I missed from the wildcard teams when they played, and it didn't really matter because I knew they weren't going to do anything. I literally told people these teams aren't going to do anything, and it was very, very visibly proven they weren't going to do anything. Now, will Riot fix their tournament format for MSI and potentially Worlds? Who knows? I know a lot of the community were very, very unhappy with how MSI was ran, how RNG was able to just like sit at home in Wade's basement, playing an international tournament, at home while everyone is in front of a crowd, which being in front of a crowd and being at home is two different atmospheres for play, actually, So that's just that is the best thing I can bring up with that situation. But yes, let's start going over some of the BO5s actually. Oh, before we go over some of the BO5s, I'll tell you guys this. We are going to be adding in a new segment to this show. Because I know I want to cover like the LCK and LPL a little bit more, but it's not going to be like a total like cover like we did when the show first started, because that was just too much for me, honestly. I usually just watch LPL and LCK games on my own personal free time, and then I talk about them on this show. What I'm going to start implementing with the show coming into like the LCK and LPL 2022 summer splits is we'll pick out the marquee matchups of that week specifically, and we'll talk about those games. I think that's going to be a really good thing for you guys, is we'll have a Cloud9 podcast that's still dedicated to the LCS and LEC, obviously, but there's going to be a segment where we're going to talk about the LPL and LCK match of the weeks, actually. Just the match of the weeks. That's it. And it'll probably just be one of the BO3s. Just one BO3 from LPL and LCK. That is the match of the week for that specific week. And if it's playoffs, we'll be able to cover playoffs more effectively. But I don't know how the playoff structure would go for that. So I'm still kind of I'm still trying to figure, is that even a word? Sorry. I'm still trying to figure out how that would work for the playoffs. But just for the regular season, starting this year, we'll cover the match of the week games from the LPL and the LCK. Just the one from both. That way we're going to get an equal amount of games. And as they pile up, we'll get to see like how strong certain teams are actually. So yeah, let's go to the best of fives where we can start talking about the games. Anything else you want to say, you cocksucker? 824 lover man.
Fuck you. We're not on a fucking movie stream, you dumb fuck.
God, I hate you so much.
Okay, well, what to talk about?
You want to talk about T1 getting their asses handed to them by RNG?
No, their coach.
Oh yeah, just the excuses. I love them. Keep them coming. Yeah, honestly,
yes, actually,
keep them coming. I love them. I love them.
If game 5
Jesus
went
Christ,
like
crazy.
game 1 and 4 did, and RNG won, I would have no problem. Now, I would say it's definitely an upset. T1's the better team. They should have won, but I wouldn't have any problem. They're playing better that day, just like EDG versus Damwon. That's fine. No, but they literally ruined the whole. Their coach literally just like stabbed a fucking knife in his.
I'm just saying, dude.
Twisted it around and then did the draft.
I'm saying, dude. Gala was playing better than Gumayusi. Ming and Carrier were pretty even. Ben and Zeus were pretty even. Faker was playing better than Shahua. I can say that. And Owner and what's his name? Wade, they were playing pretty. Most of the players were pretty even across the board, though. I'll say that. Give me a second. Let me bring up this last game. Okay, I have them right here. Pause that. RG2-1 finals. Okay.
Well, I mean, I do have one thing. Why the fuck did you like this fucking bitch's comment?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, on your David Zaslav kills the Snyder versus chances of
He
being
did.
restored.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying he did. I just only speak facts.
go to the comments and you liked some like person fucking making up a bunch of excuses for Snyder. Why did you do that?
Love to just it's just nice to do that. I just love to do that only because it makes you feel good that your comment got heard. I want to give viewers the what's the
I'm
best
gonna
way?
write a long fucking comment now roasting his ass.
You can. I just want to make sure, like, you know, people get their opinions, like, they make sure they're heard, you know, because I know that's a big thing amongst commenters who are potentially subscribers. You gotta always play that, like, nice fine line. I can heart it, but it doesn't mean I agree with it, you know? All right, Jazway says Shahu was playing better than Faker. It was pretty even. It like when Faker got LeBlanc and when Faker got Galio, like Faker played very well this tournament when he was on Ari. Oh, that last game against Ari, he was not playing very well. He was getting camped pretty hard. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go over the first BO5, which is going to be RNG versus EG. Now, guys, I'm being pretty honest here. After the first game, I fell asleep because I wasn't staying up to watch this. Because RNG, literally, in this game, beat the absolute shit out of them. It wasn't close. Why would I stay up and watch this game? There's no point in saying I'm going to watch this after you see this from my perspective. I saw this and I was like, okay, Impact's just losing to Ben. Ben's been like the best top laner at the event. It's like, okay, this is... And we said this last week's episode. We said Impact is trying his hardest to win for them, but it's not going to matter against Ben nor Zeus. No matter who he faces, it's not going to matter, you know? Wei has been playing really well. So has Ben. They team up against Inspired and Impact. And yeah, you can definitely see the big difference in their gameplay by how strong Wei was in the jungle versus Inspired. Inspired played really bad in this series. Like, absolutely atrocious. I don't know why a lot of people kept saying he was their best player. You know? I don't know what gave you that indication. I think they're all playing at a very similar level, honestly. But this game was just a complete shellacking. Like, this is even worse to watch. This was like, oh, okay, RNG, just go home. You just pack it up and just go on vacation early, honestly. So game 2 was game 2 and 3 were actually really exciting. I stand by what I said. Game 2 and 3 were very exciting. RNG, like EG were definitely trying to win. Because I know, like, most NA teams in that position after getting stomped like that, like, let's say if Team Liquid got stomped by RNG like that, they would just kind of like fold. They'd be like, okay, Bjergsen over here, just I can't beat this guy, you know. But hey, EG were like, okay, we can fight these guys. They're not unbeatable. They made it look close in games 2 and 3. I'll say that. But RNG still came out on top. Now, one of the biggest things about the semifinals and the finals was a Lissandra pick. Xiaohu bringing out the Lissandra pick. Lissandra works very, very well against Ari and LeBlanc because if they jump in, she could just obviously stun around herself. So you get stunned when you jump in. Then she can just poke you from a distance. Then if she just tombs you, ignites, you're dead. So yeah, Lissandra coming back in a big way. And I thought to myself, if Ari and LeBlanc are being picked, why isn't Lissandra being picked? Lissandra is an ideal counter to both of those champions. And Lissandra can roam around the map pretty effectively. Yeah, it was magic. I love it. I love it. Good job, Ben. Good job, dude. But yeah, Ben, definitely on Gangplank and Gwen the whole time. RNG were like, okay, we know you're playing really well. Yeah, you're going to only be on Gangplank and Gwen. Now, one of the things...
Now, if this was Niski in the mid lane, he would probably pick like Zoe and his ass off.
Well, this was also another thing that happened with RNG. Not a bad thing. RNG's drafting wasn't necessarily, I won't say impressive, but they knew what their enemy comp would pick, so they would just pick counters and engage onto that. Look at RNG's comp in this game. You have Engage with the Wukong knockups. You have Lissandra ult and Engage. You have the Xayah ult. You have Rakan going in. Against EG's comp, you just have Ari, who can just go in and charm. Now, Jojo Pion actually did play well against Xiaohu, and I was really happy to see that, you know? I was super happy to see that at least when the EG players were losing, they were, like, trying to find these angles to get back into the game. Now, when they took this fight, this is kind of the reason why they're a rookie team. It's because why would they take this fight knowing Impact? What's the rune where you can switch out spells? Unsealed Spellbook. Impact can't join because he doesn't have TP right now because he swapped out his summoner spell. So Ben gets to join the top lane. Sorry, Ben from top lane gets to join and he gets to impact the fight a lot more. And thus it gave over the advantage, and that was just beautiful right there from Xiaohu. Xiaohu on Lissandra was great, honestly. Now later on, it was the third game where RNG, were having a really interesting game against EG. So this third game kind of started out pretty stompish. It's a 5,000 gold lead. Then later on, EG managed to win around the Baron against RNG. But RNG's comp was essentially the same thing. Like, I don't know why Jojo Pion didn't really opt into taking Lissandra, or I don't know why EG didn't really opt into taking most of the picks that RNG did. But later on, you could kind of see that EG were definitely not scared to fight RNG. And I think that's a really good thing when you have players like Jojo Pion and Danny on the roster. Danny hadn't really been playing good the whole tournament anyway. And I know he had that little thing on Twitter with that one guy because he felt like everyone hated him. I don't think everyone hated him. It's just more like people were just like disappointed in his gameplay because you just expected more out of the guy. I think that's fair. I think it's fair to expect more out of someone when they're playing as well as he was in the LCS 2022 Spring Split playoffs, actually. So, yeah, Mr. Sean, what did you think about this best of 5 between EG and RNG?
Well, I'll give. I honestly don't really know what to think of it. At least they didn't get like slaughtered like I thought they would. I can't believe you actually gave them a game though. That was hilarious.
Hey, these games are really close. These games were close, actually. There was
not against RNG or T1 with EG, no.
These games right here were like somewhat maybe winnable if their brains were turned on. Not getting close to a Lissandra who can do that.
It was basically just RNG's brain wasn't functioning 100% in any games that were close, not EG doing anything.
I mean, I don't know, man, because like the EG comp actually can do something into theirs. It's just all depending on setup. See, EG's comp is all based in setup. RNG's could just like go with just certain buttons. That's it. So
let's see what to say about this. Vulcan didn't int as hard this time as the other international tournaments.
Look at that scoreline, 1-6-12, man. That shit is great.
Hell yeah! I mean, for Vulcan international records, yeah, that's great.
That 0-4 Ari, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, Jojo Pion, the best fucking mid laner ever. Hell yeah!
Can't wait till he gets destroyed by Jensen when the summer split
starts. This guy's basically just a new Hoo-Hee right now.
This guy, oh man, you're gonna regret that take in a few years when they watch this show back.
Well, I said right now. I already told you what his ceiling is. He's only 17.
That's not how Reddit's gonna see it. I know the context. Reddit does not.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, it's just like holy fuck.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever. It's like the people who fucking trashed me when I said Blabber doesn't really use his brain in game, and now looking back on it, yeah, I was right. What the fuck? All you bitches crying about it in like 2020, saying now he's gonna do amazing in the starting position. I didn't say he wouldn't. I said his game IQ is not that great, and it isn't.
Well, EG is done now until the LCS 2022 Summer Split starts. I think EG can go home with their head held up high. EG won a title in the LCS. They've been trying to do that since 2020 when they had Bang and Zazal on the roster, which was disgusting to say. In 2021, they started to show signs of life. They brought in Danny in that summer split. They missed out on going to Worlds because Cloud9 beat them 3-0. And they came into this year. They almost won lock-in, and they actually defeated 100 Thieves and Team Liquid, teams that were supposed to, dominate the LCS actually. And they won a title. They got to MSI. This team definitely did worse against other EU teams than other NA teams. They lost every game to G2. And I know Inspired was like, no, we're actually better than them. We just messed up. No. There's 6 games. There's 6 games, buddy. I don't know about that. Like, if there was one game, I go like, okay, sure, maybe. But like 6 games, come on, guys. EU's better right now. At Worlds, different story. But right now, EU is better. 6 games, they beat them. 6 games. Like, that's disgusting.
I didn't say the region wasn't better. The region's better, yeah. I mean, of course, LPL's better as a region. The top team, so,
And now you have T1 versus G2, the rivalry that's been building ever since 2019. So this game, Faker takes Tristana mid. And this game, they just got out macroed very, very hard. Like, T1 in this game just completely out macroed them. Now, this is the T1 comp that they actually need to further their early game leads, because T1 in the Rumble stage had been playing like drafts that really don't actually complement how strong their early game is. So in this game, they pick Tristana, and in this game, they actually go, okay, if we are going to do well early game, let's put a Tristana in our team, and let's just push down turrets, because Tristana can push down turrets very, very effectively if you can shove someone out. I don't know why Caps was here trying to invade all by himself with no vision. I don't know what the fuck that is. And you could tell as the series went on that Flakkid and Targamas were definitely feeling the pressure of the series. Like, in game 2, it was a little bit more exciting when T1 were consistently, trying to actually, be super aggressive. And one of the things with T1 that I saw in this tournament was they were just being very over aggressive. Like, there's moments in game 2, actually, where they're winning the game, and then you have players like Owner just going super, super far deep, getting killed and giving advantage back over, So I think T1 going into trying to potentially and hopefully have a shot at winning Worlds later on this year. They can't
the thing
just
that actually matters, not shitty MSI. Good job, RNG.
They can take lessons from this tournament and go, okay, our mistakes were we were being too over aggressive on certain plays. There were certain plays I saw and I was like, why are you doing this? Like, there's no reason to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Zeus is fine doing this right now because he's in a side
cocky
lane.
With their skill. They definitely were.
Sure.
What do you mean? They weren't cocky, you're saying? You're saying Gumayushi was not cocky the whole tournament, and that's why he died a lot?
He was getting exposed. That's what you're trying to say.
Well, a bit of that. Yeah, I'm not saying that.
Good job, Targamas. He killed Faker. Good job.
Hell yeah, best support in EU. Told you. Hey, you want to know how fucking deaf people are, though? In that fucking Jensen video, Jack was just like, Fudge is one of the most consistent top laners I've ever had. And then everybody's chat was spamming what? You had impact, you had balls. Bitch, he said one of. God. Also, this guy on Reddit says that I was wrong because I said that Palafox would never turn into anything that great. Even with more development time. And that's why I'd rather Cloud9 Academy get someone else. But then he's like, nah, you're wrong, because he's now turned into the 10th best LCS mid laner.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
I know a lot of people talked about Palafox, and when I saw him playing on FlyQuest, I was like, he's not good. He's just not. I noticed it.
No, guys.
Right when I saw him first play.
He's the 10th best mid laner in LCS now. He's good. Oh yeah. I was wrong, guys.
This right here was actually great. This prediction by Broken Blade, this was great to look at live. So T1 and G2, this is actually the closest game of this best of 5 in general. It's actually the closest one. Now, T1 was being a bit over-aggressive to give back some of the leads. This right here was great to see. Faker jumps over the wall and he thinks he can get one of them. Broken Blade just stops him. That was great to look at. That was great. That was Broken Blade's best play of the entire tournament. And then right here, you're going, if they actually killed Owner right here, they had a chance to go to Baron, and I think they did. No, they didn't. But if they had killed Owner right there, they had a chance to go to Baron. So later on, right here, Targamas just dies randomly. I think the pressure was getting to the G2 bot lane. And right here was the final fight. So Kyria goes in, Kyria locks down, Caps immediately gets exploded. Then after that, they take out Kyria, and you're thinking like, okay, they have a Viego with resets, they have a Aphelios just has to be safe. No, Gumayushi uses his blade collar, and then he pulls him back, and it stuns Flakkid for enough time, so Flakkid ends up dying. It was honestly one of the best plays he did at the tournament. So right here, you can see how they try to kind of lock down Gumayushi to a certain extent. They go, okay, we just killed off Kyria, there's a chance to win this. But they didn't understand Zeus was really strong in this fight as well. And they could have, honestly, maybe turned this around if Flakkid hadn't died. After this game, it was just over. Like, you knew their hopes died out with this game. Sorry, G2. Better luck next time. But to be fair, G2 still owns the head-to-head when facing them at international events, honestly. And then now you go into game 3, and game 3 is just borderline disgusting. Like, I think they get the kill right here, and then after that, it's essentially over. After this bot lane play, this was the only kills he even got.
What do you mean? Let's go. Come on. G2 got this, all right? They got this in the bag. I haven't actually seen game 3 yet.
Right.
I think they're going to reverse sweep, all right?
Oh, yeah. So right after they get that kill, Flackid's like, no, they have to have been gone. No, they're gone. No, they're still there.
Hey, come on, Flackid, let's go.
Good job.
Get him. Get him.
Fuck. So Flackid thinks they're gone, and he gets killed. This game was all T1 favor. This game, like, they completely just destroyed them. You knew their confidence was gone after losing game 2, and it being just so close where they could have honestly had a chance to come back into the game. Zeus playing very well on Gnar. You had Faker just completely just one-shotting Flackid every single chance he got. Oh my god. And T1 move on to face RNG in the MSI 2022 finals. Final BO5 of this portion of spring. T1 versus RNG. LPL versus LCK. Now, this is the thing, guys, is it's been LPL versus LCK since when? Well, forever, honestly. And for the last, 4 international events still being won by, the last 3 international events. So we had MSI 2021, LPL wins. Worlds 2021, LPL wins. MSI 2022, LPL wins. Then you have the last event that Korea won was when Damwon won back in 2020. So that's the last event that Korea won. The last 3 international events have been just dominated by the LPL, and they've beaten the LCK quite consistently in BO5s. Like, it's borderline disgusting at this point. And if you also count the other international events like MSI, like Worlds 2018, LPL wins that. Worlds 2019, LPL wins that. LPL wins MSI 2018. Like it's looking pretty hard out here, for LCK. And I know this one guy brought up the fact that the LCK is just getting outpaced by the LPL. And I think it's one of the things that, you have to just look at how the LCK teams play. The LCK teams play with a set way of how to play the game going into the game. Like, they're not really that good at maybe potentially changing up their play style against specific teams. But that is neither here nor there. So, finals begins. This is just a slacking. Every single game RNG wins in the series, they win really convincingly. It is, like, not even close to fair against them. Now, the RNG players had been playing very, very well all tournament long, all the RNG players had been playing very well all tournament long. The only weak spot on T1 was just Gumayusi. That was pretty much it. Now, Gumayusi and Kiria were on the Morg Caitlyn bot lane. So you're thinking going into this first match, they could easily take down Gala and Ming because Caitlyn and Morg is just an oppressive bot lane. But no, the team fighting on RNG was so substantially impressive to watch, honestly. Then in game 2, T1 are like, you know what? We're going to strike back, actually. So T1 strike back. You have this game where Xiaohu takes RE. Then you have this game where Faker takes Lissandra. Now, Faker played well in the series against Xiaohu when they try to obviously swap back on certain picks. They're trying to figure out, okay, what's going to be the more effective pick right now. A lot of Wukong played in this best of 5. A lot of Viego played as well. Wei has definitely been stepping up recently. Like, Wei had a fantastic finals against the LCK. Like, Wei was pretty much giving it to Owner a lot of the times in their games. Like, the amount of times Wei got Viego was just insane, during this best of 5 right here. Then later on in the game, RNG actually get a chance to get a team fight win. They go to Baron. Then after that, Faker does the Lissandra Flash Claw in to kill them all.
I think the Karma pick was excellent.
Yeah, I hated the Karma pick. Every time
it's great. What are you talking about?
Guys, every time you see a Karma pick, that's an instant loss for the team with it. If you pick Karma, you lose. That's it.
You're
That's
just
all
a
it is.
hater, all right? You know.
Oh yeah. I'm just a hater of Karma.
Remember on Cloud9 put licorice on Karma.
Oh, and the crowd was
The
just booing them.
finals.
Holy shit. T1 win game 2, and then game 3. This was, I'm trying to remember, what was game 3? Game 3 was Gumusi. Yeah. So RNG realized, wait a minute, the best way to shut down T1 is going after Faker. Yeah, that's probably what you should be doing. Shutting down Faker essentially shuts down a lot of what T1 can do, especially when he's like one of the main shot callers and a big, huge priority of their early engage. Gala getting a solo kill onto Gumayushi. What are you doing fighting an Ezreal that early?
That was just luck, man.
Oh yeah.
What? That was just luck. Gumayushi is way better than Gala.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. And then right here at this Rift Herald fight, T1's like, we could probably start a Rift Herald fight knowing we're behind right now, right? No, you can't, because they're way too far behind. Faker's like, I think I can kill this guy. I think I can. And I get the trade kill back, and I still haven't got anything out of this. Wait, where's my kills?
I mean, Gumayushi got 1 kill on Felio, so it's good, right?
Faker's like, where's my kills at? I can't kill this guy. He's just too strong.
It's almost like you don't fucking pick that champ, Faker, right? It's almost like it's not very good. It's almost like you could just abuse it in LCK. So why do people actually think that champ's good in the mid lane?
I think there's only certain mid laners that can really make Ahri look good, actually. Or play it.
I'm sorry, there's way better chance for it.
Well, I mean, they kept counterpicking it with Lissandra. Did Faker opt into playing Lissandra once in his best of 5? Once. I was like, why don't you ban Lissandra? If you can't play it against Lissandra, ban it. I don't know why teams get so
because
prideful.
Their head coach was like, here, you can win a 3rd time, RNG. We're good.
I'll say this stuff before I flame T1 more. Keria played great. If you guys go back and watch the actual live games, Keria played so well. I feel so bad for him. He played amazing. It was like sad to watch this guy lose in front of the Korean crowd. And then I don't know why it's not just a T1 like problem. It's a lot of teams have this issue. In a best of 5, when they know they can't win up against a certain champion, they don't ban it, which would clearly give them a better shot at winning more games in the series. Like, why is Zeus pushed up this far, knowing he has no vision, knowing RNG has the first priority on the map to get there first for that wave? Why is Zeus there? Every game Zeus played on Kennen, he lost. I'm pretty sure he was like 1-4. He was like 1-4 on Kennen the whole tournament. And then T1's coach is like, I guess this next game he'll play much better on fucking Kennen. But I did watch this guy pop off on Gnar very, very well against G2. It's like, what are you doing? Good job, owner. You're winning out there, dude. So, yeah, I do agree with Sean a lot. Like, the T1 drafting was really horrendous. Like, there were certain picks I was like, okay, take this away from them. You can take it away. Now, T1...
So if you swap the head coaches, guess who would win the series?
Coma.
Coma's not RNG's head coach.
He might as well be. Coma is giving RNG's coaching staff tips on how to beat T1 and then crush Faker from the inside.
Yeah.
But dude, I don't know.
I was totally honestly expecting though after the series that then the LCK again would be like, we have to redo the finals, finish you.
Oh, remember in the G2 best of 5? Did you watch it live when Keria landed? He missed a hook and it said summoner disconnected. The whole chat was just laughing. That was hilarious to see. That was disgusting. Holy shit, that was funny as fuck. He missed a hook and he said summoner disconnected. Someone said he rage quit over missing the Nautilus hook. I was just in tears. So after this, RNG, every game they win in the series, super convincingly. The next game, game 4, Faker is like, you know what? I'm picking LeBlanc, and we're gonna go to a game 5. I will get us to a game 5.
Oh wow, this commercial.
I love it.
Honestly, is better than game 5.
Then you have this right here where Wave flashes in to get first blood against Zeus. Zeus was mega over far pushed up, but Faker's like, you know what? I want to get us to a best of 5. At least let's not get
Zeus was owning him in lane.
It's crazy how he was fucking up like 30 CS and still losing the laning phase. That's
50.
disgusting.
Fucking hell.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Zeus actually played well. Like, oh, the T1 players aren't bad. So, like, when the T1 fans are like, we got to make some roster changes. You want to make roster changes?
You're an idiot. You need to make a coach change. That's what you need to do. And an owner change, and then you'll win.
Oh my goodness. Or maybe LS can be the head coach now. No?
Mm-hmm.
Because he did so well on
C9
C9.
with their systems, because obviously Joe Marsh's system has worked very well.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. So basically, guys, Faker pops off insanely hard in this series. Like, this was one of his best games of the tournament. Not saying he had other bad games to begin with, but no, he played really well in this game on LeBlanc. His Ari games were like really questionable. Really questionable. Then you have the all faded game 5 to win Faker's first international event since 2017 MSI, T1's first finals at an international tournament since 2017 in general. It's been like 5 years since they've even been at the finals of a competition. And you know what? They take their playmaking support, who had been a very, very impactful player for them throughout all of this year and MSI, and they give him Yumi. Now, I get why this pick makes sense with Jin. Like, Yumi makes sense with Jin because obviously you could just like speed Jin up, and obviously he could just poke you with the fourth shot consistently, deadly flourish. It makes sense for what this comp actually is. This comp is not a bad comp in general. I will say that. But this is not the comp you need to be giving to T1. But you would think that T1 could play very well with this comp with the Jace pick, you know? Was Jace actually played a lot this tournament? I don't think Jace was played a lot this tournament. Do you remember Jace being played at all a lot or no? Actually,
I don't think he was. Remember. I think
I'm not saying Zeus can't play Jace, but it's like I don't remember them playing Jace all that much.
I think Zeus picked him once. I think.
So, Mr. Cole, tell us how you feel about this T1 draft. I know you love this.
Oh, hold on 1 sec. I'm not looking at my screen right now. Can you okay, let me full screen it. Okay, so this draft, let's see. So we have RNG. Gwen, super OP champ. One of the most OP in the game. Lee Sing, one of the most OP in the game. Lissandra, one of the most OP in the game. Tristana, fucking OP, underrated ADC that people keep leaving open after banning the other ADC champs for whatever reason instead of picking it themselves. And then Rakan, goes good with anything OP support. Okay, now let's look at T1's draft. Okay. Yeah, Jace, fucking kill me. When's the last time Zeus has been good at Jace besides the odd time when given shitloads of fucking support by his team?
Also factoring in, they didn't ban.
Otherwise, he'll go like 2-6.
Let's also factor in they didn't ban Gwen the entire series. No, they lost every game to Gwen and every game to Gangplank. And they're like, you know what? Game 5, Gwen. That makes perfect sense. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, so you picked one of Zeus's worst champs against one of the most OP champs in the game that they never ban. Okay, holy fuck. What jungle is about even. It just depends on the comp, which RNG's is way better for. Then still on that fucking Ari Faker. Are you fucking kidding me? What an idiot. Yeah, Lissandra obviously better. And again, a champ they never banned all series. And then why did they pick Jin? Why? Why do people keep picking Jin? Unless you're fucking Huan Feng, you're all right, you're not gonna be good on it. Fuck off.
Well, Gumayusi was good on Jin last year at Worlds.
Yeah, when it was in the meta MSK. Yeah. Like fuck. Well, and then fucking Yumi just cut my dick off right now.
To be fair, look at it from T1's perspective. Gumayusi had not been playing very well in this series in general. So you give him something safe with utility. You're thinking like, okay, if I pair him up with Yumi, it might give him some leeway to actually do some
better
damage.
ADC chance for that MSK. How about the one RNG has, huh?
Okay, well, that makes sense, actually. But what about
it makes sense, but T1 doesn't think logically.
What about Sivir for Gumayusi so he doesn't feed as much as he was?
Why don't you just pick Twitch at this point, alright? Just get it over with.
Twitch and Yuumi. That sounds
pick
horrible.
Garen Yuumi. Let's just do it.
Garen Yuumi. Oh my goodness, God.
Let's go.
Fucking damn.
Holy fucking shit, that shit ruined worlds. Holy fuck.
I'll say this. I get why they picked Yuumi for Jhin. I just don't get why you pick Yuumi for Keria, who's been your playmaking support, one of your best players on the team for half of the year. And you say you want to win an international event, but they take Keria off a playmaking support and they give him, what is Yuumi considered? An enchanter, right? I think it's what Yumi's considered, right? Okay. Now, I want to go back and see what they actually banned to get to this point. Give me a second. Let me go back and see what they actually banned to get here. Because that actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, so let's watch a little bit. Just a little bit. We got the Joker outside, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, play no. You didn't have to. Okay, there.
Okay, so remember, guys, T1's on red side. So they have to ban
Lucian. Banned all those ADCs. And you still left Tristan. Who cares if he got fucking... Oh my god.
Remember, they have to ban Lucian because he's just too OP on this patch. They can't give them Viego. After Wei was playing that well on, you can't give Wei Viego. So they automatically have to ban these two.
It's real. They could have left open and fucking...
You don't want to... But this thing, you can't give Gala Kaisa. You cannot
No,
give him
Kaisa is beatable with Gala. It's fine.
Not by how strong he plays. Not by how strong they were using it. I mean,
maybe you can shut it down as long as you fucking
the way T1 were playing. You want to bet that T1 can shut down Gala playing
if they've learned from the last time, yeah. But I mean, with their head coach, who knows?
And then you have Ezreal and Nautilus. So the Kaisa, Viego, and Lucian bans, I understand, but they banned Nautilus away from themselves. Do they really think? Did they really think Ming's Nautilus was that OP? Because why didn't they just pick Leona with Jhin? I think Leona with Jhin would have been fine, honestly. You know? I don't know why they bet. Well, yeah, because Gala's really good on both.
What a garbage fucking draft. Yo, RNG must have been pouring the champagne out when this happened. Holy fuck.
They had a noodle party.
Yeah, holy fuck. LPL really shouldn't have even attended this event, but whatever. We're not going to get into that.
Oh my god. So RNG take the Gangplank away with themselves because they're like, you know what? We've been only winning on Gwen and Gangplank. We'll give them a handicap and draft and see if they actually might punish us for it. They didn't. RNG banned one of the few champions they were letting Bin play in the tournament, guys. That's disgusting. They handicapped their own top laner. Like, can you just play Gwen one more time to win for us? He's like, ¿Weh? No samaste? Yeah?
Okay, you're like speaking Spanish, you dumb fuck.
And they're like, and then Faker popped off on LeBlanc in game 4. You cannot give him that again. That's just that'd be draft suicide giving that away to him. I understand all of these bans except for Nautilus. Was Ming's Nautilus that scary? Did you guys see Keria's Nautilus? He was disgusting. So that's my thing. It's like, take Keria off Yuumi and give him Nautilus. Because Nautilus would have did pretty well engaging onto Rakan, Tristana, Lissandra, Lee Sin, and Gwen. If you want to run a poke comp, you might want to also fully run some engage so you can engage and they can consistently poke. You have a poke comp with Jhin, Ahri, and Jace. So taking that away of having no engage outside of just Wukong ult, potentially, like, I don't know. I think the T1 draft was just destined to fail based off several different key factors in the draft. Also, it didn't help that RNG just completely just ran them down after this game as well. But Owner did play well on Wukong. He actually did that, and good job, Owner and Faker. Great. They literally couldn't even dive a Lee Sin. They were that far behind. They were actually that far behind. It was disgusting to look at. But yes, RNG win MSI 2022, and the crowd went silent. They camped Faker. T1 drafted.
The crowd in their 8-person apartment in China went wild. Hell yeah. What an embarrassment. All right. The team that should have won didn't won. They ruined a fucking great 5-game series by just stabbing a fork in their brain during game 5.
I love this
All
man.
right.
I
A
love this
team
guy.
that has won 3 times now, but 0 worlds, who shouldn't have even attended this event and won it in a fucking small apartment, are your
Basement.
fucking
Plays
winners.
basement,
The
actually.
prize pool is garbage. The format is garbage. This is the worst fucking League of Legends tournament in history.
But look at the bright
TSM's
side.
fucking like MasterCard one is better than this.
Okay, no, definitely not. That I'm not taking. No.
Yes.
This is the
Fuck
second
you.
worst.
Yes, it is.
This is the
Because
second
at least
worst.
Rock's Tigers was there.
No, because Rockstar should have never lost to Team World Elite because they talk about drafting like shit. They drafted like shit. Kuro hasn't played Yasuo. Kuro didn't play Yasuo all that year and picked Yasuo the first time in that game and lost. No, fuck that. And then you also had CJ Entis, who was at the event, and fucking Mad Light started playing like he's an old grandpa outside walking with his walker or some shit. No, fuck that TSM win. That is just luck at its finest. This is the second worst, probably. Most likely. Now, I'll say this. RNG needed to win because they need the money. So they got the money. They won money. They need money.
They got the money to keep funding their human experiments and nukes. Good job.
Oh, and it's great that RNG can have Xiaohu and Ming and they can win titles consistently. RNG's won 5 titles in the LPL. That's really impressive for the LPL in general, you know? So the last thing we'll talk about today, just the last 10 minutes for the show today, guys, is the West actually getting swept again. So this is something I want to bring up actually, because this happened at Worlds 2021 last year, and I think a lot of people should probably start looking at this more potentially. Now, this is 4 best of 5s, so this is not a sample size of just 2 BO5s actually. Oh, speaking of T1's coach, T1 head coach blames MSI 2022 finals loss on map on side selection. Holy shit. So you want to read some problems with T1 more before we go over what I want to talk about? Oh, yes, he does. Yes, Sean does.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Okay. So 2 more things about T1, guys, and then we'll go to the final discussion I want to have for you guys about the West and the East's rivalry that doesn't even exist based on what we previously have seen from these last 4 best of 5s actually. So like I told you guys before, when the show first started, there was a big issue with the whole side selection and how it's done by a coin toss. Like, what the fuck? So Esports put out this article where it says T1 head coach Polt blames MSI 2022 finals loss on map side selection. If T1 played on the blue side for 3 times, they might have won. Yeah, all of T1's wins came from blue side. Just saying. But then again,
there's another thing to add to the collection, but you were still fucking shit, buddy. How about they would have won if you weren't there? Fuck you.
Oh my goodness. The 2022 Midseason Invitational crowned RNG on May 29th after 5 hard-fought games against T1. No. The RNG won very convincingly in 3 of them, but sure.
No. Well, actually, yeah. Well, listen, we're not counting game 5. They won convincingly in 2 of them. T1 won convincingly in 2 of them, and then game 5. The power just went out during game 5. They're going to play it next week.
In a press conference following the League of Legends match, T1's head coach, Polt, blamed the loss on map side selection.
And I blame it on you, bitch.
Good God. This is what he said. The team that could choose sides all chose the blue side and won, Polt said after being asked about pick and draft. He also explained how the blue side of the map is advantageous and that the squad trained as much as they could for the red side. So he's saying they're not good at red side, and for
blue side, has always had an advantage in League of Legends.
That's
like
true.
In shooter games, red side's usually the thing, but in blue, it's usually blue in games like this because it brings out kind of their creativity a bit.
He says, during MSI 2022, the blue side of the map had a win rate of 53%. Yeah, I didn't know that. According to stats site's Games of Legends, compared to the the 4 major regions playoffs percentage wins per side. This year's MSI had the highest wins on the blue side, with only the 2022 LCS Spring Playoffs having more than a 50% win rate on that side of the map. During the press conference, another question regarding T1's loss to RNG was asked to Polt. The head coach replied that he believes everyone in the team did so well in the finals. Yeah, Gumayusi played really well, man. But he said the reason they lost was due to them not being able to play on the blue side 3 times. But, I mean, sure. T1 pushed RNG.
I mean, I will say one thing, MSK. I mean, I will say. I mean, doesn't the advantage usually go to like the higher seed team? RNG got higher in the Rumble stage, so
wouldn't they have gotten selection? Yeah. That's how it works. I mean, that's fair though. I think that's fair. You get higher seed, it rewards you for getting first in the Rumble stage. I think that's fair, honestly. If T1 hadn't dropped that one random game to EG, there might have been a tiebreaker game. But no, they did. They dropped that random game to EG, and that kind of fucked them over getting that tiebreaker game against the LPL. T1 pushed RNG to the 5th game during the MSI 2022 finals, but the LPL representatives landed on the Rift with a much more cohesive draft than their opponents. Thanks to early game aggression and perfect team fighting, RNG gained one advantage after another and closed the game out in a little more than 25 minutes. Yeah, so side selection, guys, is definitely a talking point amongst the community right now, but blue side's always had an advantage. I think red side can have advantages too. Just depends on how well you draft into that. So the last article right here we'll talk about is T1 Gumayusi's damage kill participation stats among lowest of any ADC with 10 games played at MSI 2022. Plenty of expectations were placed on the 20-year-old shoulders. Before the 2022 League of Legends Mid-Season Invitational, fans were excited to finally see Korea's Spring Split champions T1 take on the best teams the world had to offer. In particular, T1's bottom lane, Gumayusi and Keria, were heralded as the best duo at the event. It didn't look like that when they hit the stage, though. Gumayusi finished the tournament with the lowest kill participation and total damage share of any AD carry with more than 10 games played, according to League Stats aggregate Oracle's Elixir. He also had the second lowest average damage to champions per minute and the lowest average experience difference at 10 minutes of any marksman with double-digit games. Overall, Gumayusi didn't have as impressive of a campaign through the tournament as people once thought he would. The young star struggled in a handful of 2 versus 2 situations and was out-traded or taken down by his opposing laner in the early stages of the games. It was an odd sight for LCK fans, especially because the 20-year-old star had looked consistent for T1 over the course of the 2022 Spring Split. During the playoffs, for example, Gumayusi had a 30.8% share of his team's total kills compared to the 24.5% that he held during MSI. According to Oracles, he also had much higher damage numbers during the playoffs as well. After going perfect through the 2022 LCK Spring Split, the weight of expectation might have gotten too heavy for T1 and their star-studded roster. Granted, this was Gumayusi's first career MSI appearance, but this wasn't his first taste of international play since he attended the World Championship the year before. Even still, he is young and continuing to learn more as he aims for the top of the mountain again. Ultimately, Gumayusi and the rest of T1 are going to look for vengeance after their disappointing loss to Royal Never Give Up in the finals. Catch them in action once again when the 2022 LCK Spring Split begins next month. Yeah, Gumayusi definitely having a bad tournament.
I think the person that ad there would do a better job drafting than their coach did.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right, so the next thing I'm going to talk about, finish this up. So that's it, guys. MSI is in the books. Actually.
MIS University, nice.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here to tell me about my English spelling. Okay, so let's look at the
second worst international tournament in League of Legends history. Well, actually, you know what? The third worst, because you remember that one tournament where Reginald bitched and cried and then said "scumbag Jat." and made it so they would put them back in, and then they won the whole thing. Rigged. Yeah, it's third worst.
Oh my goodness. MSI World Championship. I need Worlds 2021 is what I need. I need just that navigation main pages. Competitive. Live. No. Okay. So I need Worlds. How do I find Worlds on here? 2022 World Championship. Cycle. Okay. I think I'll just go here. Find it. Okay. 2022 Worlds. Also, this event is being held in North America, so the crowd is going to be a whole lot better. I know a lot of people had a problem with the crowd. I always said this too. The crowds for the LPL and the LCK are very, very, very nationalistic and very biased. So I don't know why people expected the crowd to cheer for RNG when Korea and China are always at each other's throats. I don't know why people expected that. I knew that going in.
Maybe if they actually... whatever, I'm not going to get into it.
Oh my goodness! So Sean's
what do you think I was going to say?
I love life.
And I was going to bring, I'm not going to.
Good God! After they manufactured something that has potentially just murdered us all,
okay,
right?
No, I wasn't going that fucking direction. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm saying they really kind of. I mean, after EDG won last year at Worlds, I mean, yeah, a lot of people thought that they would at least show respect to Calm being his last fucking tournament and game ever. Mm-hmm. They treated him like shit during the handshake thing, so yeah, fuck them. They can keep making their nukes.
Also, you know what I noticed after RNG won is that RNG said GG will play to T1 on social media. T1 didn't respond at all. Just all this like, I don't know, salty elitism that goes on with this organization.
Yeah, they're a bunch of salty motherfuckers. Bitch, if you wanted to win so badly, hire a better coach. Don't cry about it.
Sean, oh my God. Okay, so we'll go with the last thing I want to discuss. It's not going to be too long, but it's going to be something that I've noticed right now. Because I know a lot of people have been talking about like the West getting stronger. Guys, if you look at this right here, I'll go to it right here for the playoffs. So at Worlds 2021, Cloud9, our third seed from last year, faced LCK's third seed last year, which was Gen G. Okay. Yeah, they were the third seed, or was it T1? No, T1 got third seed. Gen G was like second, I think. No, T1 was. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. So it won't matter because I'll just reinforce what I'm gonna say. Okay, so Mad Lions were the best team from EU last year. They were the first seed. Damwon were also first seed, actually. You know? Cloud9, third seed, and I'm pretty sure Gen G was also a third seed. I'm pretty sure they were. Sweeps across the board. Damwon's was really convincingly over Mad Lions. Cloud9 had some close games against Gen G, but ultimately they got defeated.
Maybe if they actually didn't let Perks draft all 3 games, they would have had somewhat of a chance, eh?
Then this year at MSI 2022, notice similar results. You swap them. EU goes against Korea, NA goes against China. Same results. Close games from NA against China, but still 3-0.
Nah, man. They're just like they're like 6 months away to winning Worlds, man. They got this.
So what I've noticed from these past 2 international events is the West, guys, has been getting swept. The LCK and the LPL, if you combine the records from these events, they're literally, was it 3, 6, 9, 12? They're 12-0 over the West in best of 5s, guys. These are best of 5s at international events, swapped between NA and EU against LPL and LCK. Obviously, for Worlds 2021, you had NA taking on Korea, EU taking on LCK. Then for this one, it's just NA versus LPL, and then EU versus LCK again, right here. They are 12-0, and a lot of people going into the semifinals this past week were like, dude, at MSI 2019, the West made it to the finals. You guys understand that the West making the finals that year was G2 played a hard-fought series against SKT. That one is fair, right? but Team Liquid beating IG that year was one of the biggest upsets ever in League history. They were not supposed to make it to the finals that year, nor did anyone predict for it to be a Team Liquid or Invictus Gaming finals, okay? So right here, just on these last two international events, whether you take MSI 2022 results very seriously, you can see that there's a big discrepancy still right here amongst like the West and the East. Like I think people say the gap is closing. I don't think any gap is closed. I think the gap was shown to be a little. I think the gap was a window, and the window was a little shattered back in like 2018, 2019, maybe in that period for a little bit there. But as of recently, it's been very, very favored for the LPL and the LCK against the LCS and the LEC. 12-0 in their last BO5s against them. 12-0.
I disagree. I think EU is going to win Worlds this year. I think what's going to happen is I think yeah. Well, what's my prediction? What should my prediction be? You think MSK?
I'll say this. I think that the LPL are going to win Worlds this year again, based off the 3 international events they've won. But then again,
you know what? I'm going to say this. All right. So Astralis last minute. Who's their midliner right now again?
Isn't it Dejor?
Yeah, Deja. So last minute, they're going to replace him with Reeker, and they're going to win Worlds.
Jesus Christ, you disgust me.
What?
Well,
great team.
Now that you have this results for you guys, I wanted to show you this because I know there's been this narrative going around that the West has been improving a lot. I mean, these results do not show improvement. I mean, yes, I know there's close games within at least the LCS camp at this, so that's something to look at, even though EU's gotten pretty stomped from their last times they faced the LCK. Both times EU has faced the LCK, these series have been stomps. These have been pretty hard stomps. The LCS ones, not being biased, have looked a lot more closer, but it's still the same result. It's still a 3-0, obviously. And I know certain 3-0s don't tell the full story, but you have to kind of take that for what it is. So you shouldn't really have hope that the West could really beat the East right now. It doesn't seem plausible based off the last 4 best-of-5s we have just seen. Just saying. But, that was the last thing I wanted to make sure I bring up. The LCS 2022 spring... hold on, give me a sec. The LCS 2022 summer split begins, I think, June, right? June 10th. So we got a little bit of time, before that happens, actually. No, I think it starts next week, actually. Let me see. LOL Esports. Give me a second right here. LOL Esports schedule. And yes, we will be adding in the match of the week games from the LPL and the LCK. That's going to be added in moving forward with the Cloud9 podcast. And I think it's going to be something that's going to add in a new extra flavor to the show. Because I know a lot of people probably want us to talk about the LCK and the LPL a bit more, but I don't want to overload it. So it'll just be like the match of the week games from the LCK and the LPL. And for playoffs, I'll have to kind of decide what we're going to do about that. So for the LCS, okay, schedule VOD's not up. Let's go to Leaguepedia. Let's go to LCS. Oh my goodness. Jeez. Holy fuck. Okay. The summer split for the LCS begins. Okay. Oh my goodness. Is it 2021? No way. LCS 2022 summer. When does this begin? Okay. Give me the release date. It is going to begin. Oh my goodness. Okay. It starts on the 18th, actually. So the 18th is not this week coming up, but the next week. So it's going to start in about a week. That's not too bad. In about a week. Okay. Be nice to have the season starting again, and Warren's going to tell us how good SK Gaming and Astralis are. We're going to be like, okay, Warren, you can lay out the drugs.
He's smoking the fucking drugs. They're never going to be good, right?
SK Gaming will make playoffs and always lose. That's their destiny. Make playoffs, lose.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is. That's just their
Now,
destiny.
if he actually thinks SK Gaming has any chance, just your sniff fucking crack. Holy shit.
If SK Gaming make a finals, you know that fucking split for the LEC was dog shit. If I say it right now, if SK Gaming or Astralis ever make a fucking finals in the LEC, you know that split was trash. G2 must have bought players from Brazil. Fnatic must have imported like 5 NA players. Fucking Misfits probably were just like sniff.
Hey, I mean,
sniff
I'm just saying, I don't understand why EU doesn't ever try importing NA players. Like, seriously, are they retarded? It's like you have players that they easily could have got way before any NA teams if they actually say they scout players in like NA, like Danny. They could have bought Blabber. They could have bought Vulcan. All right, those are players that would definitely be at worst middle of the pack in EU, and that would be better than some of the shitty ass fucking EU players they keep trying to start, like fucking Leader. Like, why don't they ever do it? Is their ego that bad where they can't import NA players ever? They can't have any NA guys?
Hey, Cody's son went over there and did stuff.
Hey, he did solid. It's fucking team that was shit.
Someone was like, well, Reckless outperformed him. Yeah, because Reckless had a 10 times better team.
What an idiot. He was very, Cody's son was very solid and reliable. Very smart guys like Kabe. But fucking hell, I mean, he just can't do anything.
Starts on the 17th of this month. So yeah, we'll have them back literally within a week. So it'll be nice to have LEC and LCS back again starting soon.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that fucking Jerry guy's banned from your fucking channel, that fucking inbred troll. Holy fuck.
Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, and I'm also glad that fucking one guy's gone. I forgot his name, like some fucking Islamic name or something, like that Riz guy or whatever was on your fucking channel. Literally, I posted a comment one time under your guys' Illuminati stream afterwards. I was making a joke about Jaded coming in there and like causing havoc when we were having a conversation about fucking sexual assault on women. Because Jada didn't understand what we were talking about, and he thought we were trying to teach everyone how you properly pick up women at the bar. And I made that joke, and that inbred Nebraska motherfucker actually thought I put him in my comment. So then I was like, "No, I didn't, you dumb fuck," on another stream. He's like, "Oh, okay." It's like, fuck you.
I want to show you guys something. I need to show you guys something because Morbius is taking.
And you like that guy's comment? Fuck you, MSK. Why did you heart it?
Because I live life.
You fuck you. Anyway, Morbius.
What are you reading?
Nothing really. Just
Is this Morbius 2 script? Fuck up.
Oh my
god! Confirms it's probably not happening then if they meme it.
Like, here, guys, I'll say this because I know there's some people that we talked to.
Anyone got time? Morbius is back in. Let's see. See if my theaters have. They say 1,000 theaters. Let's see if my theater actually has it right now.
Did my theater actually get it?
I don't think my theater got it because there's been a bunch of films they've been releasing, like Crimes of the Future. I saw last night. Pretty good.
Okay.
And then, they released. What was that new one they released today? It was Downton Abbey. So I mean, I don't know if my theater. Oh, they do. Yes, they released it. Fuck, I'm gonna see it.
If the boys, I'm gonna go up to Canada with Sean so we can see Morbius.
Oh my god, there's actually 11 tickets sold to that time. I can't believe there's actually like fucking 12 people in the same row who just bought tickets to Morbius in theaters.
Okay, this is gonna be the new clip that I'm gonna play when someone on my streams on my other channel starts saying some dumb shit like Jaded.
They're doing crack. They're doing crack. Okay. They're doing crack.
When Sean says A24 films are good, God.
They're doing crack.
Fuck you.
Oh my god. Dude, imagine if this was actually a thing. If this was a thing in the stream.
Time to talk.
I'm just saying. Morbius. Oh, okay, thank God. Surprisingly, Everything Everywhere at Once at these run times have like 30 tickets sold, and like over a month later, or 2 months later. So good, thank God, because I was about to say I was going to click on my theater time for that and see the seats, and I was going to be like, and probably see like 2 seats sold or something, and be like, okay, the fact that Morbius has more tickets sold right now than fucking Everything Everywhere All at Once, you guys can go fuck yourself. But thankfully, there's actually like 30 tickets sold here. So hey, maybe there's some hope left in humanity that Morbius doesn't have more tickets sold than it.
Okay, there's something I'll bring up because I know a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, it's not." I hate people who just try to ruin everyone's fun. I hate people like that so much. It's like, just laugh and have some fun with your life. Holy shit! Like, everyone knows we're laughing at the movie, not with it. Like, it's like the fact that some people have to explain the joke. People are like, it's not funny. Well, I'm sorry, you don't laugh in your life because your mom fucking like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, here's the one thing I don't like about. I already made that Twitter post about it though, MSK. That's the one thing I don't like about it.
You did? I
And
didn't
that's the downside of it. Outside of that, though, I don't care. I said, the memes are hilarious. Keep
No.
doing them.
Like, even
I'm just
like,
saying, no, some people are stupid enough, MSK, where they'll take it too extreme and actually then like spend money on it or support it or think it's actually a good film going into it. And that's what happened with Venom. And that's what's happening to an extent with Morbius right now. So, yeah, I mean, it's hilarious, but memes aside, there is one downside to it, MSK.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the biggest downside is like people are actually gonna think that's a good movie. I just only have problems with people who just don't like having fun. It's like people just want to ruin everyone's fun. It's like most people with half a brain know the movie was bad, and you're literally just having some fun with it. It's just funny, People are like, oh, I muted the what? You don't like having fun? Like, God, everyone's so fucking serious nowadays, man. It's like, holy fuck. Also, Chaz, we can watch the newest Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's episode, which has an English dub premiere coming up June 6th. Yeah, this Monday coming up. It's going to be June 6th for Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's, actually, premiering its English on the English dub for Hulu. Disney XD, which is weird, actually. But, yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Will we have a show next week? Yeah, because we're going to have to, like, preview the summer split and for the LEC and LCS. So much stuff. Yeah. We'll have a show next week, guys. We'll be previewing the LEC and the LCS 2022 summer split. I think most of the rosters are already confirmed. So that's better than having before spring split when you have all these unconfirmed rosters, actually. But it's been great, guys. I'm gonna have the show next week on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because Thursday's too busy for me when we have to do blockbuster film shit. It's just way too busy.
Okay, now this is one I will complain about. Fuck you. How can David Cronenberg's new film have less tickets sold than Morbius? Fuck you. On the second day of its release as well, compared to Morbius now.
So you're basically saying he got morbed?
Holy fuck. It was a solid film, but yeah, it was very small scale because, no studio's going to give him much of a large budget to do much anymore if it's crazy ideas, because that's not going to make any money.
Because he's a fucking hack, right?
Oh, totally, he's fucking almost 80, fuck off. I will say, though, surprisingly, nobody in my theater, walked out, surprisingly, of this showing. It wasn't that gruesome as people said, though, but still, because, the 2 years ago, his son made his, first mainstream film, Possessor. I don't know if you saw that, MSK. Did you?
No, I don't think, no, I didn't.
Oh, well, it was pretty great, but, sci-fi film, had really good gore, and there were, 15 people that walked out of my theater because of the gore. So, yeah... So I expected some people to walk out of David Cronenberg's new film with what they were saying about it, with the gore and effects, but nobody did.
It could be even worse. When I watched Morbius, there's a lot of people watching Morbius with me that night, that Thursday night. Remember how he did the dance scene? Me and this guy looked at each other like this, and we were like, that is just, the whole crowd just you could tell the air was just cringe. It was like, what the fuck?
Okay, the fact that you actually fucking watched that in theaters, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Dude, after I watched Morbius, I had girls literally flocking to me, trying to take off my pants, trying to suck my dick, dude.
No, you were just imagining that. All right, you have to see
My
Morbius
life-
at least 50 times to have that
My
happen.
life literally changed after watching Morbius. This girl showed me her ass last night, trying to get me to eat it out. Like, oh my goodness, dude, my life has changed so much.
So I mean, anyways, my Twitter account still suspended for like an hour and 45 minutes. So if there's any links on like StreamYard that you need to send to me,
Today was
like,
the only day I was gonna take
oh,
today
there's
off.
no watch parties or reviews.
Not today. I'm just gonna pre-record
Oh
content.
well, Chad said because he said he could do the Toy Story 2 one at 10:30 today.
Outside of that, okay, that we're gonna do Toy Story 2. But if you're
did you do the first one yet?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, you didn't invite me, bitch.
I sent you something. What?
You're you didn't. You dumbass.
I thought I did. Oh my god. Okay. Well,
you are.
I'll send you one tonight.
Stupid cracker. Okay, whatever.
I'll send you one tonight at 10:30. So we're gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll have time, but just in case. But anyway, but if you do, but then
okay,
yeah,
I'll say
then
this.
Just do it on Discord. Yeah, now I'm gonna say though what fucking happened since you left while in the middle while I was telling the story after that one review. So I said I was like messaging people, right? MSK.
Yes.
And two of them actually went somewhere
to pick up hot ladies.
Listen, MSK, if you're gonna ask for tips, no can do. You have no. You're all right.
I'll say this. After I watched Morbius that night, I had more sex than I ever thought I would ever have, and I have
okay, but anyway, there were two things I didn't check though.
If there were actually women,
well, one of them a few days later said they were actually queer, and one of them. And I was like, fuck.
Okay,
I still had the one. All right, then I still had the one.
Yeah. Backup plans.
Yeah. Okay, but here's the thing, MSK.
That one was not a dude. It was a.
No, but so while I was chatting with all of them, I didn't bother to ask what they did for a job. To take a guess.
She was an OnlyFans model, right?
Close.
Was she a Fansly model?
She was a model of something.
Pornhub?
Yeah,
I can get her number, right?
I'm not saying her fucking name, MSK. Fuck off.
I can get her information so I can find out where to watch these videos because I like cinema?
No.
I'm a fan of cinema.
And plus, she's Asian. I don't think you like Asian people.
I love their content.
I mean, with the racist things you say about players like Ming and shit, I don't know.
That is not true.
Yeah, what the fuck was that you said about that one player? God, who was it again? Fucking
who was it?
No, I'm trying to fucking remember who it was. You said it like this one Asian player in like the LCS or something. Like, oh yeah, his eyes are too fucking small. He can't see where he's shooting. Who the fuck did you say that with?
Dude, oh my goodness.
You said like the one thing.
Oh, yeah. So he was so blinded when his girlfriend cummed in his eyes that he wasn't like noticing he was sleeping with a bunch of other girls. He was too short to notice.
Anyway, so that's just my fucking luck.
This girl was like, "Come with me." I was like, "No, you're gonna touch me. Ew, gross."
Oh yeah, and if that wasn't worst luck ever already, MSK.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, you're a bit younger than me, so you're gonna have bad luck with women. It's just girls that your age do that. Now, I've had sex so much.
I do know someone personally though who is like an actress in Hollywood. I'm like, hey, maybe there's a tiny chance.
Maybe there's a tiny chance you can get me in.
No, but then 6 months ago, she also came out as queer. So I'm like, well, fuck, there we go.
So, so you can get me these girls' numbers, right? Thank you so much.
Okay, well, you wouldn't like that one because she's black. Sorry.
I mean, hey, I can always be flexible in my drafting.
Yeah, fuck off. You can.
Hey,
maybe
unlike
I'll just,
T1, I can adapt in my drafting phase for the ladies.
Listen, maybe Morbius is trying to tell me that I should just date dudes.
Okay, goodbye.
Listen, wasn't there like any? Don't you think there was some sexual chemistry of like
No,
Jared Leto and
are
Matt
you on
Smith,
drugs?
or whatever his name is?
Okay, do you want to know what is an actual waste of money?
Well, what's an actual waste of money, MSK? Tell me.
I will tell you right now. I will literally explain it to you. The YouTube blueprint book.
If you buy that, you're a waste of oxygen. The YouTube blueprint book.
If you would like to own your free copy,
unless there's any helpful tips on how not to get your channel banned, which MSK could use with the amount of fucking porn he shows on it, then hey, I mean, I don't think that's going to be a much use.
So because guys, I wanted to give you like some extra time on the show, just to have some fun, because we don't really normally do content here unless it's podcast or fucking news. Book reviewers wanted. Anyone interested in a YouTube marketing ebook, please DM me. For a limited time, I am sending out free PDF copies of my new book, The YouTube Blueprint, to people that would like to review it on Amazon and provide feedback. If you would like your own free copy, just click send message to DM me or comment book in the comments below. Yeah. Who actually commented? Good God. That I can't think of a bigger waste of money or a bigger waste of time than making a YouTube book. Who reads books anymore? I mean, I still read. Unlike most people.
Who the fuck think that's helpful? There's no blueprint on YouTube. It's just luck.
YouTube actually is just luck, honestly. YouTube literally is luck. I mean,
it's literally just, again, that Tim the Tap Man, like, donation sound. Hey, you just wasted your money. Lol in chat. You just need to play that if you bought that fucking book for like every cash register sound. Holy fuck. But anyway, this was her fucking name, though, MSK. I'm pretty sure you've seen her in actually some films. She was the one in Tick, Tick, Boom, right? Remember?
She's the white one, I think. Just kidding.
Okay, are you colorblind? I was about to say, are you fucking colorblind, you motherfucker?
Wait, you actually know her?
Yes.
Wait, she's
like not the most. I don't know her the most, but yeah, I'm in contact. Yeah, I know her.
So you can get her on these shows to talk to?
Okay, MSK, the odds of ever inviting her on your show, and with the shit you say as well, all right, you have a better chance of your dad coming back, all right?
Okay, I love black women. I've expressed that many times on my shows personally.
Well, I mean, she's light-skinned, so I guess she's not
even better. That half and half's always good. You know how in coffee you get half and half sometimes? You know, when you drink black coffee, you put white sugar in there to make it better, though you're not like.
Sorry, when you said that, I was thinking about fucking that Cyanide and Happiness cartoon with the clan member where he pours the milk in the coffee until it's white.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
Seriously,
I like K-Dot, dude.
Story.
Dude, I like K-Dot.
You have a better chance with getting that Ukraine actress on there.
Dude, I like K-Dot a lot. But the thing here is K-Dot always goes, stop worrying about Marvel and do what you do. Yes, K-Dot, but Disney and Marvel are successful at making money, and David Zaslav wants to make money. So that's not copying. It's following a successful business structure that's profitable. It's not copying. A lot of companies do that. That's not a copy thing. If you copy someone who's successful, I mean, is that really ever a bad thing? Mimicking a structure that's successful? You know? But I don't know. What do I know? What do I really know? Yeah, it's morbid time today, guys. It's morbid time. Jared Leto has become, that's the thing. People like Jared Leto's Morbius performance more than his Joker. That's saying something. That is by far and away the most disgusting thing I've ever seen on the internet. Is a person's Morbius performance could be liked well more than their fucking.
Wait, go up. What's that casting? Frank Ocean is preparing to make his feature directorial.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. 824. Hell yeah. Get me these.
He would fucking film and Sean and fucking pickle that one streamer role. Like, no, they don't hire black people. That guy's clearly black.
Wait, what are you talking? When did we? What? When did we say we don't hire? They don't hire. Wait, what?
You guys said in that stream, oh, they don't hire black people enough. I was like,
What the
I mean, there's
fuck are you talking about, MSK? What? Tell me at what point in that stream we said that.
I have to misconstrue you guys' words because I need to make you look bad on the internet, obviously.
No, listen. MSK, we did not say they don't hire enough black people. We said they hire too much black people, all right?
That's actually true. Too much black people ruins cinemas, actually.
Mhm.
Look at Tyler Perry
Yeah,
movies.
we gotta
They're
have too
definitely
many
really
black people, or there'll be like, they'll then be like, no, I'm not gonna say this. I was gonna quote a joke that you said before, but then again, people are idiots on the internet, so they would actually think that I'm saying it. I was gonna, no, fuck whatever, fuck them, or they'll be like, like gain rivalries and fucking.
What is Puck News? Puck News. I'll start following that.
And what's that one thing called again in like jobs? There'll be like a union or something.
Yeah, because here we have unions for like certain jobs.
Said before, you fucking asshole.
Well, I will unionize against you guys. I'll make sure I call the cops.
That's the thing that people don't understand on MSK streams with like WZ and shit. Like every fucking quote unquote racist joke I say, which really isn't racist though, because I don't actually say anything racist in it. It's just a little bit edgy. I'm literally just 99% of the time just quoting what MSK of them has said before.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, guys, that's it. We'll have a show next week on Wednesday. We'll be previewing the LCS 2022 Summer Split, the LCS 2022 Summer Split, talking about the good old NA and EU crowds. So damn cringe. All right, guys. See you guys later. Good night. Peace.
I'm gonna try not to get a fucking porn star as a date. Nice.
I like that. Sharing is caring, obviously.
I'm not sharing anything with you.
What are you talking about? You don't share with black people, right?
How about this, MSK? All right. Okay. How about this? You can watch one film I recommend to you. The next one, and then I'll share one of their numbers.
Oh my goodness. All right, guys. See you guys later. Goodbye. Have a great night, everyone. Peace.